Hey everybody, so we're going to be talking about solving inequalities today, and it's just like solving equations, so don't worry about. We are going to go through the 3 steps of solving it, and then there are 2 rules that you have to look out for. We're going to be taking about 2 pages of notes to write these down. Your first step is to solve for the variable like normal. So just solve right here. And you'll notice that I've gone ahead and I'm going to be highlighting where it says step 1 and step 2 just so it sticks out. Solve like normal, and just carry down the inequality. All right, well, if that's the case, I'm going to add 6 because that's the inverse of subtraction. Add it in, this zeroes out, and we get a W on this side and a 9 on this side, and carry down the inequality. All right, and then I'm going to ask you to graph this on a number line. By the way, you've already solved it. This right here, that is your answer in this case. Now, I want you to remember that when you are graphing, okay, a less than symbol and a greater than symbol both have open circles. All right? A closed circle means that it's going to be less than or equal to. And we're also going to use it for greater than or equal to. Now, if you guys are like, oh, I can never get which one is less than and which one is greater than, do not tell me about crocodiles and alligators. No, we are not in Louisiana. We are not in Florida. No, no. So I want you to make an L with your hand, with your thumb and your pointer finger. And you'll notice this is on your left hand. It makes an L, but that L right here is just like your less than symbol. It makes an L. And here's the deal. Crocodiles and alligators, they always messed me up when I was a kid. I got too busy drawing in the teeth that I didn't even know what I was doing. So I'd rather you know that that L that makes it with your hand is the same thing as this inequality right here. Something to note, a closed circle, pretty much if there is a line, if you see a line, fill it in. Fill in that circle. All right, so now we are going to go ahead and graph our answer on the number line. So if you remember, our answer was W is greater than or equal to 9. This was our answer right here. What I like to do is move it up so we have a little bit more room. Okay, your middle one is going to be your answer. And you're going to do 2 numbers before it, which are 8 and 7, and the 2 numbers after it, which are 10 and 11. You're going to draw a circle. And because this one has this line underneath that's a greater than or equal to, we're going to fill the circle in. And because this one already follows our rule where our variable is first, it tells us where to draw the arrow. Look, this inequality is the exact same as that arrow. You just solved an inequality and you graphed it on a number line. Way to go. Now, here's that first rule that I was just talking about. All right? You're always going to need to have the variable on the left. If it is on the right, so if on right, flip everything. Oh my gosh, you're going to flip all the things. So let's try it out with this one first. So we've got 18 is greater than or equal to 8k plus 2. Now, something that I'm going to write in because some of you are like, oh my God, let's do it. No, stop. You're going to flip at the end. If you flip at the beginning, you start losing track. I promise you this works. All right, so we're going to make sure we do it at the end. So let's just solve like normal. We're going to do our inverse of subtraction of 2 Okay, we've got 16 is greater than or equal to 8k, because we just bring down our inequality. Divide both by 8 since it's being multiplied. 1's out. 2 is greater than or equal to k. And now, because this k is on the right side, you're going to flip everything. So first I'm going to write the k. And you notice my inequality right here is pointing at the k. So we're going to make sure it continues pointing at the k. And then we're going to write our number. And this right here would be our answer. So let's try another one. All right? Same thing, solve like normal, and we're only going to flip until the end if we need to. So add 30, add 30. Okay, negative 23 plus 30. Well, that's going to be positive 7. Keep that inequality. This one had zeroed out. Oops. 2k. We're going to divide it by 2. So we can do our inverse, and this one's out. And we're left with 7 over 2 is greater than or equal to k. Well, we don't want our variable on the right-hand side, so we have to flip all of it. And in this case, it just ended up working out that I was using greater than or equal to in both. It's going to flip. Because it's pointing at the k, it's going to continue pointing at the k and make it 7 over 2. And this right here would be your final answer. Now, there is one more rule that we're going to talk about. And this is one of the most important rules that you're going to see. The other rule, rule number 1, that one makes your life easy. And why would you work harder when you can work smarter? Okay? So, here it is. When you multiply or divide by a negative number, then you flip only the inequality. And as always, you do it at the end. All right, and there is a reasoning for it, I promise. All right, it does make your life easier in the long run. So here's this first one that we're going to end up doing. We're going to go ahead and subtract 6 from both sides. Subtract 6, the zero's out. Now we've got negative 2x is greater than or equal to 12. We're going to divide both sides by negative 2, so we can cancel out the negative 2. This is going to 1 out. You've got x is, and here's what happens here. Because we divided by this negative number here, this greater than or equal to is now going to become a less than or equal to. And then you keep going like normal. So you've got 12 divided by negative 2, which is negative 6. And here is your answer. Now, again, if we are doing it on a number line, our answer is going to be in the middle. The 2 numbers before it and the 2 numbers after it. And because we're working with negative numbers, you'll have to remember that these go technically in backwards order than what you're used to. You're going to draw a circle. In this case, because it's a equal to, it's a less than or equal to, you're going to fill it in. And because our variable is on the left, well, it tells us, hey, you're going to draw an arrow going this way. Whoop. And that's how your number line would look for this. All right, let's do another. You're going to add 26 to both sides, which gets you 75, and this zeroes out. Bring down your inequality, 3x. Divide both sides by 3, 1's out. X is less than 25. If you were like, wait, Miss Sandy, you should have flipped that sign. No, you didn't divide by a negative number. So you don't have to worry about flipping the sign. And hey, look, our variable for the first time in forever is on the left-hand side, just like it should be. Don't cry, I know, tears of joy. All right, so there's our answer. And again, we're going to graph it, put our number in the middle, 2 before, 2 after. Draw an open circle as always on the top. This time you will not fill it in because it's just a less than. Draw your arrow in the direction of your inequality and you are done. Now, there is one more problem, and this is your mega problem to see if you can really do it. You have -7 is greater than 20 minus 3c. We can do this, guys. We're going to solve like normal. So we're going to subtract the 20 first from both sides. So we can zero this out. And we get -27 is greater than -3c. All right. Now we are going to divide by this -3 so that we can 1 out this part right here. And when we divide by a negative number, don't forget, it's going to flip this inequality and make it now into a less than instead of a greater than. -27 divided by -3 is going to get you a +9. In case if you forgot, here's your triangle. 2 negatives give you a positive when multiplying or dividing. And guess what? This one, you also need to apply rule 1 to. So now I have to flip everything. So it's going to be C. And this time it was pointing at the 9. So we're going to have it continue to point at the 9. And our final answer would be C is greater than 9. And our number line for this would look something like this. We've got a 9, 2 numbers before, 2 numbers after. You're going to do an open circle before on it. And you'll notice that I'm doing it right above it so you can see the number line. Some people will have you do it right on the line. So let's go ahead and finish this, and I'll show you what they want sometimes. I don't like it, and you might see it sometimes this way, so I want you to be prepared. They are going to have it right on the line. I like to keep it above the line because it keeps it neat. Congratulations, you have solved inequalities.